Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. Today, we've got one story and one story only. And this is it. 26 billion wiped off cryptocurrency market in 24 hours after massive oil price plunge. So this is the story today. I woke up just like you did, and I was just quickly checking the market to see what the heck's going on. And I noticed that Bitcoin has not only fallen below 9,000, but has fallen below 8,000 and is somewhere around 7,800 right now, which was amazing to me. And I go, wow, let's see what the market cap is. And sure enough, 26 billion gone in the blink of an eye. So let's get into it as to why this is happening. So first off, the value dropped 26 billion. Bitcoin fell way over 10%. And of course, other big coins or other altcoins have fallen in the double digits, which is always a bummer. But let's take a look at why. So cryptocurrency markets plunged following a plummet in oil price and further sell-off in stocks. The violent sell-off in the cryptocurrency market comes after international oil benchmark Brent crude futures, keyword here, futures, plummeted 30% to $31.02 per barrel, its lowest level since February 2016. That was sparked by Saudi Arabia slashing its official selling price for oil after OPEC failed to agree a deal on production cuts. This has led to fears of an oil price war. So I'm reading this and I'm like, what the heck does this all mean? And why is Bitcoin being dragged down to all these different problems that are going on in the market? It's supposed to be a non-correlated asset. Let's get to that. So to dig a little deeper, oil crash sparks Black Monday. World oil prices crashed Monday, today, fueling a vicious sell-off on stock markets, which were already buckling under the intense pressure over the spreading deadly virus, C virus. The dollar slid versus the yen, which is a haven investment, a safe haven investment, or the dollar. Amazing. The markets have passed from panic mode into pure hysteria, said Ayush Ansel, Chief Investment Officer at trading firm Crimson Black Capital. So I want you to remember this phrase right now. The markets have passed panic into pure hysteria. When you hear this, it should not, well, let me rephrase that. When you hear hysteria, you will be a little bit frightened. You will have that reptilian side of your brain going, oh no, I need to fight or flight. I need to get out of here. Something's going on. But you have to control yourself. You have to control yourself. If you are new to cryptocurrency, this is scary. If you are not new, still kind of scary, but not as much because you've done this already. You've been through this stuff. This is nothing big. However, is it? Is it really big? Let's take a look. So, markets were at a breaking point before Saudi Arabia's decision to launch an oil price war, but this latest development has taken far, far beyond that. OPEC kingpin Saudi Arabia had last week wanted Russia to join the cartel in deep production cuts after world prices had already tanked on forecasts of plunging demand because of the C virus, or like COVID-19. So it makes sense, right? They are shutting down production plants. One of my distributors in China cannot ship me anything to Amazon because they are shut down. So when you are shutting down large plants, you've got countries like Italy who are shutting down large swaths of their population. There are no sporting events going on. The means of production are grinding to a halt, not everywhere, but they are drastically reducing. People don't need as much oil because they're not using this type of asset or this type of commodity or whatever you want to call oil at this point. So they're like, well, look, if people don't need that much oil, we'll just slash the cost of production and that'll be okay. And Russia's like, nope, I'm not going to play ball with you. So they said, fine, we're going to cut all the prices across the board and we're going to choke you guys out. However, Moscow declined, like I just talked about, triggering Riyadh's move to preserve market share and sideline its closest competitor by creating fresh market chaos. This will be remembered as Black Monday, said analyst Neil Wilson at tradingsitemarkets.com. So again, markets hysteria. So this is what it comes down to. All these different things that you've gone through lately, this is all a warm-up for today. Today is the proving ground. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to cut and run? Are you going to get out that's a safe option. I mean, if you really need money, if you need fiat currency, I'm not telling you to stay in. This is not financial advice, okay? Because if you need money to protect your family, to protect the people around you that are important, then you take the fiat, right? I'm not going to sit here and just say, yeah, just dwindle to oblivion if you're in a quarantine city. That's stupid. I wouldn't say that. But if you have the opportunity to stay in, and what I'm going to do is buy more, because this is the time when everybody is doing that flight. They're not sticking around to fight. They're getting out of here because their reptilian side of their brain is like, I need safety, I need cover, I need shelter, and they get out. And that's a recipe for disaster, and that's how people stop losing their money. In 2 months, 3 months, a year, what's going to happen? Where are we going to be? I don't know exactly, but I can tell you this, that the markets may go up, the markets may go down. But one thing is for certain, that if you cut and run and just take your losses, you'll never recover. You will lose money if you sell, and that is just the truth. So again, when you hear comments like hysteria, panic, massive blood in the streets, huge losses, what you need to do is do a little mind shift. And it shouldn't be to fear, it should be to be a little bit of greed and to see this opportunity. Now, you can do whatever you want to, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to, as far as move forward. Now, you can be the ultimate investor here and say, well, I'm going to get out now and then let the market crash and then put my money all back in and then go that route. But what if it doesn't do that? What if, in a week or so, everything recovers and it doesn't really go down anymore? That's the thing about this market. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So for me, I'm just going to do the same thing I did during the crash of 2018. I'm just going to let it sit in there because, again, if I take the money out, I lose. But if I leave it in and let it appreciate, because what goes down must come up, and what goes up must come down, I think it'll be okay. But again, if you need fiat, if you need currency, you have to take it for your family, and that's that. So just real quick, they're talking about oil and all these different things. So what's going on with the oil prices? Let's just confirm some things. Okay, so here is the futures and index. Here was the Brent crude, and they are down 21%, 3 hours delay, 11-minute delay, 4 days delay, Jesus. But yeah, you can see across the board, as far as like the futures and index, as far as oil or OPEC members, they are down mightily. Wow. Zafiro, whoever that is. Arab Light down 40. That is a huge, huge change. And it's only getting worse. And actually, from what I just read, an article, they have stopped trading on the stock exchange. They have shut things down, and I don't think I've ever seen that. So, amazing times, amazing times. However, I can tell you what is open: cryptocurrency, digital assets. That's one of those things that it is a different breed. So, yes, we can see that the market is definitely down as far as oil goes, and definitely in the S&P and the stock market overall. The question is I remember reading an article not too long ago, and it talks about how oil prices are actually inversely correlated. I mean, they're not correlated exactly. Oil doesn't go up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't go up with oil. What they were saying was, no, it's an inversion. If Bitcoin goes up, then oil goes down, and vice versa. And they were talking about how this inverse correlation is related to Bitcoin's use as a safe haven asset, which begs the question, okay, safe haven, store of value, what is that all about? Because we need to determine right now what is going on with this store of value argument as far as Bitcoin. So to get the actual, let's just break it down in pieces. What is a safe haven, or what is a store of value? A safe haven is an investment that is expected to retain or increase in value during times of market turbulence. It doesn't get more turbulent than today, my friends. Or during safe havens are sought by investors to limit their exposure to losses in the event of a market downturn, like today. A safe haven investment diversifies an investor's portfolio and is beneficial in times of market volatility. Most time when the market rises or falls, it is for a short period of time. However, there are times when it goes down for a very long time, like in 2008 during the bubble that is the housing market. While such systemic events in the market are unavoidable, some investors look to buy safe haven assets that are uncorrelated or negatively correlated to the general market. And that was what Bitcoin was supposed to be, a non-correlated asset. And that was laid out by Van Eck, by these big, huge investment companies, or institutions that said, look, if you want to hedge against losses, let's use Bitcoin because it is a non-correlated asset. While most assets are falling in value, safe havens either retain or increase in value. Right, got it. So here's some examples. Number one, gold. For years, gold has been considered a store of value, right? We all know about that, much to our disdain and Peter Schiff. But the question then is, so we're looking at gold as a safe haven. So did that pan out today? Because stock market's in the toilet, S&P's down, gold is down, oil is down. So what's going on with gold? Well, taking a look here, gold's doing just today. It's a nice little saw pattern, up and down, up and down, up and down. Very turbulent, right? Well, let's just take it back. Let's just look over the last 30 days. When in doubt, zoom out. Well, you had a price of 1560, which is pretty steady until February 13th, 14th, 15th. Then it shot up to 1680 because of this virus problem. And then it kind of petered out and just, but it didn't go down as far as like reduction in value from the original 1560. Actually stayed there, it hit that, and then boom, shot right back up. And here we are today. We're actually, wow. Today it's down $3 or negative 0.2%. Last 30 days will be 6%. But I will tell you this, if you zoom out even 60 days, 6 months, a year, you can see what's happening with gold, up and up and up. Very uneasy times. And I will tell you just today, like I said, sawtooth pattern, way down, 1659, way up, 1663, 1684, 1668, down. So right here, right now, we are at 1668. So for gold, I have to tell you, kind of keeps that argument as far as store of value. Now, is gold the ultimate store of value? No, I don't think so. But for right now, it is proving out to be the SOV. Let's move on. So treasury bills or T-bills are another example of safe havens. And these are just debt securities that are backed by the full faith and credit by the U.S. government. And who likes that? Well, nobody. However, what happened with T-bills today? Let's take a look. So when you have supply and demand, when you have so much demand, the interest rate drops because so many people are getting there. The benchmark 10-year treasury yield broke below 0.4% for the first time ever as the C virus fears, coupled with an all-out oil price war, sent investors flocking to safer government bonds. So again, looking at the definition, this is actually hitting that SOV definition, store of value. Next up, defensive stocks. Examples of defensive stocks include utility, healthcare, biotech, consumer good companies. Regardless of the state of the market, consumers are still going to purchase food, health products, and basic supplies. So I'm not going to look this up, but I can tell you, if you look at the stock of like Purell and toilet paper companies, I'm sure it's through the roof because right now that's what's going on. Oh, what happened there? And when people are scared, they turn to cash. And we've seen that in especially those cities that are quarantined. Like, look, it's great to have Bitcoin. Might go up, might go down. It's a great opportunity. But if you're looking for water or, I don't know, rice and beans to feed your family, people don't take Bitcoin. What are they going to take? Cash. So off you go. These are, of course, the worst case scenarios. But looking at also as far as currencies, it says here the Swiss franc is considered a safe haven currency, given the stability of the Swiss government and its financial system. So let's take a look at that. What about the Swiss franc today? So if you take a look here over the last month, as far as to the US dollar, the Swiss franc to the US dollar, it's actually went from $1.02 to pretty stable in February, and then it rose up. So back here in the beginning of February, it would cost you $1.02 to get 1 Swiss franc. Now it's going to cost you $1.08 to get 1 Swiss franc. So again, looks like this is kind of proving out to what it is. So here's some of my final thoughts. And this is on Bitcoin versus the whole gold thing. Let's just take a look at that. Do I think that gold is a better store of value than Bitcoin? No, I do not. And to take a look at it real quick, this is from the Coinbase blog. And it says, gold's predictable supply, elemental scarcity, and global market has allowed it to become a stable store of value against fiat currency. At the same time, Bitcoin development is accelerating and has already proven a myriad of advantages over precious metal. One of those is Auditability. Bitcoin nodes ensure the ability to independently verify any Bitcoins received, as well as the entire historical ledger. People like that. It's an open source. You can see everything. It lends itself to trust. There's low fees to send internationally for a current median transaction fee of 24 cents, and this varies greatly. Bitcoin can be sent to any user in any country in the world. In September, a Bitcoin transaction valued over $1 billion was sent for a fee of only $700. The cost to internationally send an equal amount of gold would be exorbitant, requiring armored transport and insurance, and pretty much would not happen unless you had a lot of money. Privacy. Transferring gold without a third party requires both parties to be physically present. Bitcoin doesn't need that. Portability. As Bitcoin private keys can be memorized with a simple 12-word phrase and can be sent digitally, Bitcoin is highly portable, even in large quantities, unlike gold. So you can move tons of Bitcoin all around. You don't need armored guards or anything like that. It's divisible. Unlike gold, you got to buy the whole thing. Bitcoin can be divisible down to 1 Satoshi, which is a very small unit of that currency itself. And its scarcity, or as some people like to say, finite. Bitcoin supply will soon be as scarce as gold. It is more scarce than gold, while also being more programmatic and predictable. And there's also two more things. That is also permissionless. You don't need permission to use Bitcoin. You can transfer it anywhere across the world as long as people take Bitcoin. And also, it is censorship proof. So it's not like the government can come and kick down your door and take your gold, like has happened in the past, or take your money, or take anything, because it lives in the different nodes throughout the entire world, and only you have access to your private keys. I mean, I guess they could torture you and steal your private keys, but that's looking at a very dystopian future. Let's not get into that. So as I'm looking through this, I feel that Bitcoin is a better store of value. However, is it being used as a safe haven and store of value? Right now, it's looking like it is not. So even though there's something better out there, and we just look at all the examples, it doesn't mean that it's being used. Here's a prime example. You see all the ads that pop up on this browser? It's because I'm using Google Chrome. You know what a better browser is? The Brave browser. You don't get all these pop-ups and junk that come all over the place, like all this stuff that I see here. But am I using it? No. It's because I haven't transferred over, because I'm just lazy and I haven't done it. Or I'm just used to something. So right now, the people that are into gold, usually who are those people? Usually the older type of investors that don't really understand Bitcoin. I believe as time goes on, people will get into Bitcoin as a store of value because of all these different things. But right now, we're not seeing that. And we just have to, for me, that's how I see it. Now, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you think that Bitcoin right now is being used as a store of value or a safe haven, and it's retaining its value, and it's using, just as I said, as SOF, or if it's not. I'd like to hear what your comments are. And that is it for today. Before I sign off, we're going to go over the scam of the day in a little bit. But just remember that these markets are highly volatile. And we are seeing more volatility in the markets that are usually not very volatile. These are strange times. This is when we have a pandemic covering the world. What's going to happen in the next week, month, 6 months? We don't know. We don't know. Hopefully the World Health Organization kind of comes together and figures this all out, or the virus itself starts to burn away. But we can only see. I will say this. Now, as you guys know, I have been, throughout my career, a medic in the Army. And then after that, I didn't like to be hated to be in the field. So I became a nurse. And that's what I used to do. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm just work for myself. But I can tell you this, that I worked a lot with the elderly. And the people that are the most susceptible to these types of viruses and diseases are the ones that are in the older population, that are immunocompromised or have different types of disease processes. So when you see like the flu shot, I mean, me personally, I got the flu shot once, made me sick. And they say, you're not supposed to make you sick. It's made me sick, I don't care. And I have not gotten it, and I still haven't gotten the flu. Now for an older person, they need the flu shot. They need the shingle shot. They need the, every type of booster that they can get, because they are compromised. So as we see these types of diseases come about, or the virus come about, I do see that the death rate will increase. I do not see a lot of healthy individuals dropping like flies. I think they will recover because as I see it and the information that I've read from not just the WHO, but the CDC, it looks like this is a more aggressive form of the flu and you have flu-like symptoms, but people do recover. And you can do your own research on that. People have, and that's just how I see this virus moving about. We will see. We will see. But later on, I can just tell you this. I see it as this. I see the virus burning itself out. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I do see more panic coming. I see more problems coming. I see more industries shutting down for a bit to minimize the impact of the coronavirus. And I think it could be an incredible buying opportunity. Not to say it sounds so callous, but it could be. And it's up to you what you want to do here. Do you want to have ice in the veins, and go for it, or do you want to cash out? Me personally, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy, and that's how I see it. And last thing I'm going to say about this is nothing has changed. Has anything fundamentally changed with any of the cryptocurrency or digital assets that you own? Has Bitcoin been hacked? Has XRP collapsed? Has, I don't know, Ethereum come out and said that they're just an outright scam and are just there to take your money? No. So you have to remember that all these things, all these factors that are happening, these are happening in the background away from cryptocurrency digital assets. I believe that XRP will be a great cross-border remittance. It's great for payments. It's very fast. Bitcoin could eventually be a great store of value. And Ethereum is going to be awesome for smart contracts, just like Chainlink is going to be a great oracle for said smart contracts. And of course, now everybody knows my investments are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Cardano, EOS, and XRP. So I'm a little biased. But just remember, nothing has really changed in the background. It is just that there are some outside extracurricular happenings that are forcing the market to drop. And that is exactly what's happening today. The question is, what are you going to do about it? All right, thanks for sticking with me through the rants. I really appreciate it. That's it for today's video. If you got a couple minutes after that downer of a video, let's go over the scam of the day. So real quick, scam of the day. One positive thing we can control. Let's work on the things we can control, right, folks? So this is something we can control, all these different crappy scams that are out there. So first of all, just so you know, we've done pretty good work. If you're new to the cryptocurrency space, what a hell of a day to start. And second of all, treat everything like a scam until proven otherwise. If you have a problem or if you think people are giving away free money, email the official website and ask them, hey, Ripple, are you giving away free XRP? They're going to tell you no. Hey, Binance, are you giving away or doing airdrops for free coins? No. Hey, Ledger, are you giving away free nanos? No. Hey, OKX, hey, Binance, or hey, Gemini, or whatever else there is out there. They're just going to tell you no. So if you ever think it's free money, contact the official website. They'll set you straight. Second of all, let's get rid of the scams that are out here now because this is going to be a big year, hopefully. I believe it is. So let's clean up the area. First things first, in every description of my video, I'm going to have a link, and it's going to say Scam of the Day. And once we click on that, we're going to see these various ones that are still going. These ones up here have already been removed, so thanks everybody, really appreciate it. Let's get rid of these. So we're going to click on this one, the first one. It's going to take us to this crap video. And what do we look for? Well, we look for, what does it say in the comments? Well, it says it's a scam. That's not good. So that's a red flag. But what we're really looking for is what's called an asymmetrical giveaway, which is trash like this. If you send 1,000 XRP, you'll be airdropped 10,000 back. If you send us 5,000, we'll give you 50,000 back, and so on and so forth. So that's a scam. So what are we going to do? We're going to downvote it, like I've already done. Click on these three dots. Click on report, because scammers always hide the report option. We're going to say this is spam or misleading, and it is a scam and a fraud. And maybe click this right here. This applies to links in the video description. And click next. And all we got to do is say, hey, this is a scam. And you can put whatever colorful language you want. I'd keep it simple. And just report it. And you're done. So if you could do that, I mean, I'd be gratefully appreciated. That'd That'd be fantastic. And hopefully we can get rid of these scams as new people come into the market. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you got time, there's going to be 2 more videos popping up that are just like this, probably a little more positive than this one. And you can check those out. They are curated for your pleasure by YouTube. And that's it for today. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.